Title: The Grave Robber of Mount Moriah. In a quiet historic cemetery outside Philadelphia, something unthinkable was happening. Graves were being violated, mausoleums broken into, and the dead were being taken. Authorities say a 34-year-old Pennsylvania man, Jonathan Christ Gerlach, carried out a months-long spree of grave robberies at Mount Moriah Cemetery, a 170-year-old burial ground where veterans, artists, and generations of families are laid to rest. Between late November and early January, investigators believe Gerlach repeatedly entered the cemetery after dark, using tools to force open crypts and burial vaults. What he took would soon shock even seasoned detectives. On the night of January 6th, around 8 p.m., police were quietly watching the cemetery when they spotted Gerlach's vehicle. As they approached, they saw something chilling in plain view: human skulls, bones, skeletal remains lying in the back seat. Moments later, detectives watched him exit the cemetery carrying a burlap sack, a crowbar, and other tools. He was immediately taken into custody. During questioning, Gerlach admitted he had already stolen at least 30 sets of human remains. But the nightmare was far from over. With a search warrant in hand, investigators traveled to his home and a storage unit in Ephrata, Pennsylvania, nearly 70 miles away. What they found there was described by the district attorney as something out of a horror movie. More than 100 full and partial sets of human remains were recovered. Skulls, bones, coffins disturbed, a lifetime of families' loved ones removed from their final resting place. In total, Gerlach now faces over 400 criminal charges, including burglary, abuse of a corpse, theft, criminal trespass, and desecration of venerated objects. His bail has been set at $1 million, and he remains in custody awaiting a preliminary hearing. Mount Moriah Cemetery, incorporated in 1855, spans nearly 200 acres and holds the remains of Native American war veterans, community elders, and even musical legends from the 1960s. For many families, it is sacred ground. Police Chief Henry Giammarco called the crimes horrific, saying the violations deeply impacted the community. The district attorney echoed the pain, stating, "Detectives walked into a horror movie come to life. I grieve for the families now wondering if the remains taken belong to their loved ones." Now, investigators are working to identify and return every set of remains to their proper resting place. What drove one man to steal the dead? Why were so many taken? And how long had this been happening, unnoticed? The investigation is ongoing.